So I usually, ironically enough, don't cover stories about Biden, even though he's the president-elect at this point. But I found this story hilarious. The most senior black lawmaker on Capitol Hill is taking Joe Biden to task over administration appointments, saying the president-elect is falling short when it comes to naming black figures into top positions. Representative James Clyburn, Democrat of South Carolina, the House Majority Whip, and a close Biden ally expressed disappointment on Wednesday that African Americans, a voting bloc crucial to Biden's presidential victory, have not featured more prominently among the early picks to fill out senior administration posts next year. In an interview with Juan Williams, Clyburn welcomed Biden's selection of Linda Thomas Greenfield, a black veteran of the diplomatic corps, to serve as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, but he lambasted that she is so far alone among black women tapped for cabinet seats and other top slots. So the reason this is comedic to me is because Trump got a lot of flack for picking one black person to be in his cabinet, which was Carson as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. And a lot of people like to forget that Obama only had a handful of black people in top positions. And the other reason this is comedic is that Clyburn played a very admittedly big role in Biden getting the nomination by endorsing him in South Carolina, which ended up being the first state that Biden won ahead of Super Tuesday, where he swept all these different states. And after giving him his endorsement, after being so fixated with making this man president, he's now disappointed that he is, after getting the votes of black people, not picking them for these top positions. So Jimmy Dore, who I mention quite frequently, has talked about how when you give Democrats your vote, it's wrong to then, after giving them your vote, expect them to do these things that they weren't doing before. Now, Biden was criticized for the 94 crime bill, just being apathetic to the plight of African Americans and his relations with black people have been something that's been talked about before. But he gets their vote in South Carolina, and then the presidential election, and in the states in between there. And after getting their votes, he doesn't do anything for them as far as these appointments. Yeah, he gives you your little token person as UN ambassador, but it's really like with Clyburn, he acts so surprised. I can't believe that this person who got all of these black people to vote for him is now barely putting anyone black in his cabinet. Wow. Even though that's exactly what the previous Democratic president, who was black, did to black people by barely having any of them in his cabinet after 2 terms. They will all, Democrats, and I don't think the Republicans are any better, but Democrats will always be able to get votes from people, whether it's an ethnic group, a religious group, progressives, whatever, and then give them nothing after getting their vote, because they know as long as you hate the Republicans, you will support them no matter what. This is why the lesser of two evils mentality that a lot of these commentators tried to sell us about how horrible Trump was is always comedic to watch in retrospect, because they always have that wolf to make you support the wolf in sheep's clothing who doesn't care any more about you than the other one.